And then, were you the creator of the character of Saul?
I originated Saul Goodman on Breaking Bad in season 2.
Right.
Of course, like everything on that show was all the characters were created by the writers' room, really. But I was the one lucky enough to get Saul Goodman kicked off.
And how did that come about? Like he's the best kind of sleazy bus bench, like strip mall.
He is. You know, at that point in Breaking Bad, I think we needed a couple of things. We needed comic relief. If you remember the first season of Breaking Bad, Hank was essentially the funny one, and Dean Norris is so funny, and he's great being funny. But then season 2, he went into some very serious place.
Oh yeah.
And I think the show needed something lighter. But also, we had a very mechanical problem, which was Walt and Jesse were in business for themselves, and we just asked ourselves, what would happen if one of their dealers got picked up by the police?
Yeah.
And then you have to go to a lawyer, and that was when the idea of Saul Goodman came up, who's not just a criminal lawyer, but a criminal lawyer, as Jesse says. And I think we originally thought of him, just like you said, as the ultimate sleazebag, strip mall lawyer. But then something amazing happened, which was Bob Odenkirk played. And because Bob played the character, Saul wasn't just a slickster. Because Bob brings something to this character that I don't think any of us were expecting, because Bob brings an earnestness. Bob is a unique combination because he can be an earnest, slick ass, and because he's earnest and because he actually has an edge of nerves, he really wants people to buy his line of BS. He brought another dimension to the character, of humanity, that I think is why we're here with the spin-off.
And then there's also the fact that Bob's most notably a comic, and then everybody that works with him, Bill Burr and everyone else, they're also comics.
Yes.
I don't know about Jonathan's comedy background, but
well, Jonathan's damn funny.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about his comedy, but he's been on Community. Jonathan is so funny. Vince had a working theory on Breaking Bad, which started with a pilot of casting Bryan Cranston, who at the time was really known best for Malcolm in the Middle and Seinfeld, and casting him in this extremely dramatic role. And I think the theory that Vince ran under and that we continue to run over is that if someone is a great comic actor, they can also be a great dramatic actor. And we found that to be true.
And how's it been to kind of retroactively build the character of Jimmy McGill? Like,
it's shocking.
Yeah.
It's been surprising to us. I think when we started the show, we thought that Jimmy would become Saul by the end of the first season. And the more we learned about Jimmy, the more fascinating we found him, and the better we liked him.
Yeah.
And so we found that there's a lot more to say about Jimmy McGill than we thought. And so it's taken us quite a while for him to become Saul Goodman.
As the series is going, because we know kind of the end point of this with how he comes in Breaking Bad, that some really messed up things are probably going to happen. So as much as we like Rhea's character,
Ray, that's a big question.
Yeah.
You ask it's a prequel, so you have to ask yourself when you get to Breaking Bad,
What
would
happened?
Kim Wexler date? We know she dates Jimmy McGill.
Yeah.
Would she date Saul Goodman? I don't know. I find that hard to believe.
And then casting Michael McKean as his brother,
Michael McKean is so. I got to tell you, Michael McKean, as great as he's been in the first 2 seasons, I think Michael McKean has topped himself this season. He is just incredible, and he does some work that I think is really going to blow you away.
And then how much kind of front-loading do you guys think, like, how's the internet going to figure this out?
Oh, you know what? The internet and our fans are so much smarter than we could ever dream. Last season we had this genius, I say genius with air quotes, idea of encoding a phrase in the titles of the episode. So you took the first letter of each episode and you scrambled the letters, you'd get the phrase "brings back." We thought we were being so clever. We thought no one would figure it out
Within
until
2 days.
And then immediately, they didn't even have all the letters. People figured it out, and it was. I'm embarrassed to say we hadn't even talked to Giancarlo at that point. So, we think about that, but mostly we just try to tell a consistent story. Our fans are so smart, and they keep reminding us of how smart they are, that it's a big trick to stay ahead of them.
Because I think one of the things that really draws people to the show is how well-rounded everyone is. Gustavo Fring is this menacing psychopath who's also just so quiet and so well kept,
Yes.
and drives a Volvo.
Yes.
And Mike is just he could murder a family in front of you, but and then he's off playing with his granddaughter.
Yes.
Like, everyone there's just so full, like every character.
Oh, well, I love to hear you say that. It means so much, because one of the great things about the medium that we're in, we have, if you have a movie, you might have 90 minutes or 2 hours. You don't really have the time to show all the sides of all your characters. The great thing that we have is we have up to 10 hours a season. Well, not quite, but we have hours and to explore and to see how these characters bounce off each other. And one of the things I'm very excited about this season is you're going to see some characters who you never pictured being in the same scene together.
Ooh.
And I'm very excited about that.
That's going to be fun.
All right.